What's up everyone and welcome back to It's About Cars, this time on the Miata again. Finally we are digging deeper into modifications, and the first thing that I wanted to have in this car, because it's pretty unsafe without it, is of course a roll cage. This is a Cybul V3 that has a welded seatbelt pipe in it, which is going to become handy if you want to go with 4-point seat belts, which we are throwing in as well. So the car is also getting these Sparco 4-point belts. So these belts are kind of common in Germany because they're one of the cheaper versions out there, because this is a budget belt and this is not going to be a FIA race car with 600 bucks seat belts. That's not the case with this car so far. I mean, not yet. Who knows in the future? I don't know. But yeah, these are the belts that are going in, and of course they're going in together with some new bucket seats. But we will split these videos up so you can get a step-by-step video for each part. Because it's the first thing you'll have to do, we will start with this roll cage right here. Yeah, without further ado, let's start doing that. Okay, now the first thing that we'll do, of course, to get the roll cage in is getting the seats out. We've done the other side already. It's pretty straightforward. You have just 1, 2, and here in the back 3 and 4 screws that screw the seat into place, and then you have a 5th screw that goes for the belt on the side of the transmission, and then you'll have, of course, the belt attached by itself on the left hand side here as well. So we'll just do that real quick and then we'll get the seat out. Okay guys, day 2 of putting everything into the interior of this car, of the Miata. The tricky part will be to cut the metal behind the 2 seats. Now, to get the roll cage in place, we will of course need to take out the roof. Well, we don't have to do that, but it's recommended, and I think it will get in our way. I think it's actually mandatory. Not really sure, but we will see, and we will get it out anyways because it's easier to access the points where everything is going to be bolted into place. And like I said, we will also have to cut some tiny parts in the back of the seats, and also cut the carpet, of course. I'm still not sure if this glass rear window will work together with the cage. I don't think it will. I think I'll need to get a plastic rear window for that roof. Either I'm going to replace just the window, or I will have to get an entire new roof. If that's the case, write it down in the comments what kind of color you suggest, because I'm thinking of this beige brown roof, because everything on the car is black so far, and I might throw in some color. I don't know. Yeah, write down in the comments your suggestion, and without further ado, let's get going. Now, once you got the seats out, the first thing you'll want to get out, of course, is this carpet here in the back. We already did that off camera, but it's really easy. You just need to get rid of these little clips, those black little clips. Next up will be, of course, this piece of carpet right here. And after that, we will go ahead and unbolt everything beneath that little rear window. That carpet here is also just plugged in with these things. Now, once we've got them out, you can just take that carpet and throw it out of your Miata. Now you should see all these metal plates, which we will have to cut later. And we'll actually take this metal plate off as well, because this will give us easier access to the places where we will cut the metal underneath it later. Just your generic 10mm screws. So get yourself a 10mm socket, and yeah, try not to lose it inside of the car. Now once you've got these rusty rails out of the way in the interior, what you can just do now is just gently push your roof out of its place. Make sure that you don't break this rubber down here, because this is what is keeping your interior dry. So be nice to it. And it seems like that someone already fixed this with a duct tape. Yeah, that's ripped apart here. That is the roof, more or less. I think it's time to give this a good clean now. And once we've done that, we can go ahead and cut here and there. I'll just show you, it's really not that big of a cut. Yeah, don't forget to disconnect your battery. I know you're not welding anything, but just be safe and don't cut any wires, and yeah, disconnect your battery. And let's clean this thing a little bit now. Okay, to continue with the roll cage, from here on, once you've cleaned your, the area behind the seats, once the carpet is off, you take your cutting tool. I have this Dremel here. You can use just a normal cutter, doesn't matter, but I think this is handy because it's smaller. And we will cut this hole into the metal here. Seems more scary than it actually is. It's really quick, and you just need to make sure that it's thick enough or big enough to make the roll cage go right through it, and which is going to be bolted down here then into place. But of course, before you do that, please make sure you wear some protection glasses. Of course, I'm not entirely sure if that's actually big enough because the roll cage isn't in now. We will see and test it after we've cut this piece out of there. Make sure that you don't rip off, or that you don't hit your threads here and there, because this is where the aluminum plate is going to be screwed into place, which is also going to need a little cut. So yeah, let's start cutting. Next thing we will do with our roll cage is bolt it into place. It's actually a roll bar. I just tend to mix that up. But anyways, what we need to do now is drill into the chassis of the car, or into the frame, into the car. And this is going to be very challenging. This is the longest 8mm that I found. I also have a shorter 8.5, which isn't long enough to go through the metal plate from above. And I don't even know if this is long enough to go through that. But yeah, the car's lifted up into the air and the rear wheels are off because it's easier to access the holes from behind. But yeah, because time's running short today, we will just start drilling now. Let's go. Just making a last check that everything is sitting where it's supposed to be, and I think that's fine. I'm gonna apply some of this oil here, and here goes nothing. Okay, that was 8mm. Let's just check if the bolts would fit through that. Of course they won't. They were recommending. Oh, they do actually. I'm really curious how this thin metal is going to hold this heavy roll bar into place. Now when you have your wheel off and remove that plastic cover here, it's really easy to see where your bolts are coming out. So yeah, we'll just tighten them down there. Now the kit comes with this galvanized plate that goes right on top. Then you take these nuts here, and you'll notice this little plastic ring inside, which is preventing these nuts to turn to the opposite direction. So once you screw these on, you won't be able to reuse these nuts. And once we got the plate tightened down, I'm going to throw some protection bitumes. What the hell? Sorry, I have no idea how to spell that, but yeah. That's enough, just so that it's protected against stone chips and rust and everything. Now what I almost forgot was this screw right here on both sides of the roll bar. You of course need to screw them in as well. This plate right here is part of the roll bar, and this plate behind it is part of the car, and the screw is sandwiching those plates together, and this is also holding the original seatbelt if you are still needing it. This setup we clearly went without the original seatbelts, so yeah, we don't need them anymore. But if you do, you can screw them in with the seatbelt mechanism in here, so that is not going to be a problem. But yeah, don't forget these, because those are holding the roll bar in as well. Okay guys, the part where we drill up here required me to make a bigger cut than I was showing you before. Now, it's just 3 holes. Make sure that you don't hit any of these cables in there. So I can't go in here because the cutout isn't big enough. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna bolt the cage in place with the plate. And once it's in place with the 2 drills that we just made, I will know exactly where to drill from underneath the car. Okay, now I can see where the last hole is. Perfect. Now I can throw a screw in there and tighten that down as well. You want to make sure that it's really tight, because these screws are going to save your life. Once we've done that, is our protection. So this is the end of it. For me, this is the perfect interior now for this Miata. I'm just so stoked about this fat boy here. I mean, you can literally carry this vehicle like a handbag now around town, if it wouldn't weigh 1,000 kilos. Added weight is a topic. The roll bar was really heavy, but the benefit of it is it's increasing rigidity by a lot. So yeah, I hope that the car is more stable now in the corners. What is there left to say? Nothing then. Thanks for watching, and thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you guys in the next episode of anything with this car, or on an episode with the Alfa Romeo Mito. And yeah, subscribe of course if you're new to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.